live! Oh my god, we made it, Ange.
Yes,
Episode number 25 of the Inner Power podcast. How to deal with the unexpected. We had the unexpected just now. Like the internet was not being our friend too much, so that was a bit unexpected. It was sort of expected and not unexpected. So yeah, we'll do our best today to stay connected to Yah. What do you think, Ange?
That's exactly what I think.
Brilliant. If you are listening on the podcast audio when it's released, because that's the only time you can listen, don't forget drop a 5-star review and a nice comment, and share with us today. Jump in, ask some questions. So we're talking about when things just happen a bit unexpected. It could be good or it could be bad.
Well, expected or unexpected. Sorry, my tongue is like
yeah.
No, but, yeah.
Some tips on how we can deal with it. There's a lot, obviously. Well, there's not nice things going on in the world at the moment, and maybe that was expected to a degree. Some of us aren't that surprised.
I mean,
okay. Hey, Claire. Go on.
Hi, Claire.
Go,
I think
jump in.
It's gonna be expected for some who are into it, who are already paying attention to what is going on there.
Yeah.
For many of us who are focused on their own life and not so much into politics, and they just don't know,
Yeah.
And now it's hard not to know.
Yeah.
So then, obviously this is going to be unexpected event for them.
Yeah.
Because they were not aware of what was going on before.
Yeah, well, a lot of life changes. I've seen, obviously we're referencing what's going on in the Ukraine, and hearts go out to the people
who doesn't?
Yeah,
guys, who doesn't?
And even with people in Russia that don't want this to happen, just it worries me that hate is going to breed hate, which, do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
So in all fairness, I must say, I am not a TV person. I'm absolutely not TV person.
And you're on TV.
Hello, I'm on TV. But what I do, I don't tend to watch TV because I just don't feel need for it,
Yeah.
However, because of the recent happening circumstances, I could not actually.
But it's close to home for you in a way. Isn't it
is very close to my home. Just so I was saturating myself with any piece of information that was coming out from there for obvious reasons, and I've observed many things. Obviously, it was a surprise to me. It wasn't a surprise so much to my mom because she's closer. To Ukraine and Russia physically, and she's more aware of what is going on there. So obviously that was a shock, and obviously all my focus went there. And I must say that at first, as I felt, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And the situation is actually escalating. You see, really like proper evil. There, right? Let's call it by the right
what it
name.
is. Yeah.
But what I also see, I don't see what he does. I see how everyone else is uniting to deal with it. How people are protesting against it. I think this is also positive power of social media, because not for the fact that we have social media. And remember, guys, we are all free to choose what we are listening to, right? Young people in Russia are against what Putin is doing. There's lots of people who are following him and believing in the rightness of his actions and decisions, are usually those who are just watching the news, which he is controlling anyway, and they believe in what he's saying. But the young generation is deciding to think for themselves, and they are seeing what is going on. And they are actually protesting against him.
See, I think, and I've seen this on the news, and we talked about it, right? I think some of the soldiers from Russia are going to be a bit confused.
Oh, they are already very confused.
Exactly.
Many of them, because they didn't expect that.
Yeah. Which also worries me. But anyway.
Oh, well, I'm just praying. This is.
Well, I'd say worries me. It's worrying me. It's good, but it's just what comes.
I mean, you can't expect what can come out of it.
No.
Right? People fear the worst. Let's be honest. And it's not only Ukraine now. We're talking about the whole world, whole Europe.
Yeah.
It can affect all of us.
It is the whole world. Obviously, Europe definitely is at the epicenter. We've been through that well, obviously not in our lifetime, but
Mm.
we, you lived in Poland, so you lived through what happened after, really, right? Until until things changed, and many other people, and it just feels like history's repeating itself, just in a different area.
So I am hoping it won't.
I'm hoping it won't, and I feel that this is something that maybe the mistakes of the past have been learned from. It'd be nice if after this is sorted that we learn the next lesson, but without too much of a cost.
The thing is, you see, there is other side of the bridge, other side of the rainbow. Okay, we can't call it a rainbow right now for obvious reasons, but we can always find positive even in the worst situation.
100%.
We can.
Yeah.
For me, I know it's like, how can you see positive in war? Okay, this is not what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're saying.
You can focus on the good stuff that is happening around. People are uniting.
Yeah.
People are finding power and energy to find for their homeland, right? They are finding another level and depth of human connections, value of the human connections, right? I am extremely proud of Polish people for Poland, opening borders and offering all that help. Not only Poland, there are so many other countries that are doing exactly the same thing, right? All of, maybe not Belarus, but okay, let's not mention that. I do believe there are still good people there.
Of course there is,
Of course there's plenty of good people there.
No, you can't judge a whole nation on one.
100%.
That's what I meant earlier, is that I hope hate doesn't breed hate onto, because that's sometimes what's happened in the past. But
from person to person,
However, I think the fact Ange, that people are, we're seeing on news the protests in Russia. I think that's so powerful and so important as well. I'm not discrediting what's going on. I hate to see let's all hate one whole group as a thing. So he's made a drastic mistake, basically. Sorry, I went off a bit on there.
Well, I think this topic is very hot right now for everyone, and so close to so many of you, and my own heart as well, because it's close home. I have friends in Ukraine as well. So it's just Jesus, I never thought I'm gonna be actually experiencing it, physically.
Yeah.
I know it's just terrible, but I am really hoping the best will come out of it. And the only way that is allowing me to deal with it is finding all of the positive things, positive threats that I see in humanity, how they are dealing with it.
Yeah.
I know there is always adversity. There are two sides of the coin. Some people will respond with aggression and violence. Some people will be looking for peace and fighting for peace. Choose which one.
Yeah, exactly.
Prefer, which one if it's feeling better to you? That's what I'm doing, and I'm actually trying to focus on the good things that I see. And I must say, I started limiting the amount of TV I'm watching.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not ignoring it. Don't get me wrong, but I think I am already oversaturated, so I just snip.
I've had to unfollow a few things because it was almost starting to see stuff as almost like, the whole world is now. The conspiracy theorists are starting to come out.
Oh yeah, there is plenty. And I've already picked up on some. I've watched some of the news, and I've heard, because I had the information in place already. I've heard them actually making up the stories to make it more dramatic and think,
that happens.
Yes,
that happens.
It's just.
BBC have been pretty well, from what I can gather. They have been, when I've looked on the app, and there's unconfirmed reports. Oh no, this is a fake. So they have said this is because people are posting stuff on social media anyway, and obviously some of the footage, but it's still, what bugs me is when the conspiracy theorists start coming out and start with the whole, it's all fake anyway. No,
it's not.
No. Go, if you feel that, get on a plane, go to the border, and then see how you feel about it then, and have a chat with those people. There you go, and you'll get your answers, isn't it? Simple. There we go.
So that was probably a very long intro to how to deal with the adversities, with unexpected. What is your tip number one? How to deal with that? Because
how
we
to deal with
it? Give some tips.
We will do. I'm just sort of staying on this a little bit because we probably will do, because it's just the topic. When we were sat having because we have a coffee, try and prepare for the show, and not that I was eavesdropping on everyone in prep, but I was, and that was pretty much what everyone was talking about. Is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
They didn't like me, leaning in conversations. They felt a bit weird. But I didn't feel it now. No, I think it says something that step away from that situation. But if I think about just personal life, like we all go through times where you got someone just being an absolute dick, basically, and manipulating stuff or whatever. And when I look at that, not to compare it, because that would be quite unfair, but it's exactly the same. No, is that, do you know what? It does. When you're in that situation, right, where maybe it feels like the world is absolutely, well, not the world is against you, that someone's against you and they're doing whatever they're doing and it's not very nice. Yeah, we've all had that. Yeah, and it's like what you said. People are coming together and they're standing united because what is happening is wrong. So when you feel like things are against you, there are. Try not to focus so much, like you said, it's finding the good, because it's horrible when you're going through not nice times. I quote something my dad would say to me, is that in those times you find out actually who out of the woodwork, the people you least suspected will come and help you out. They will, who you didn't think about or probably didn't even may know or whatever, and a bit like what's happening now. So there's groups getting together. That I seen on the news. It was somewhere in London, a Polish community, getting a lot of supplies to send over, and that's really what it should be, right? It's different borders, it's different things, it's whatever, but it's like your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, whatever, connected somehow, because it's not right. So out of the woodwork will come the people maybe you least suspected, but also will be highlighted maybe the people you should have been by your side, but not. But that's okay. But don't focus on them. You now got some information. Is like, okay, well, they weren't, maybe should have been in that close circle anyway. And now we have our truth. But I think the powerful thing if I think on when things unexpected have happened for me, and actually when you look back on hindsight, actually that was expected. Like what's happening now, it's expected.
Yeah.
It's not surprised me because whatever, it's just you kind of hope it isn't gonna that's gonna happen. So I feel that just finding the good is that there will be people there to might be a listening near or just bring you a meal, put you up for the night or whatever. I remember feeling one of my worst, and it is my anniversary today of becoming a martial arts instructor, or that thing, 17 years, left a career, but when I was going through some of my rough times, and my instructor Stephen, his two sisters, they got wind of it. I was at my other academy. They come over one day, and they brought. It's not like I was starving, but they brought me a load of food to eat, and it that was so nice. That meant an awful lot to me, really. So what I'm getting at is when you're going through rough times, there's people around you that you probably wouldn't. Not that I wouldn't have expected that. I just didn't expect that, if that makes sense. It's just, that's just a really nice thing. So you find you've got a lot more support
than you think,
than you realize. And and sometimes, I put the Ukrainian flag on my profile that everyone's doing. Could I do more? Yeah, I could maybe go over there and do whatever I've got to do. But I think just showing that people are just stood united, that's something. It's in people's thoughts and prayers or whatever. So
I do believe everything, and every little helps. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Some people can't physically, just help. They can't help financially, but they are uniting in
exactly.
a thought, right?
And isn't that given the people that are fighting for their freedom right now? I feel that's probably given them more power. And I know I've seen some news today. There's people that are Ukrainians living here now actually going over to fight for that freedom, really,
for the country.
Yeah. So
listen, this is actually
it made you feel good, right?
Proud of them. I know the thing is that is happening there. It's terrible.
Thank you, Claire.
It is terrible, but it makes me extremely proud to, to think they're fighting for what they believe in. And
that's crucial.
it is crucial.
Yeah.
They're actually setting a very positive example for the young generations.
For all of us.
For all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I learned so much about Ukraine, as well, over the last few days, and I don't want to sound like ignorant, but I've learned a lot, know, and I have definitely much more respect to them as a nation.
Yeah.
I think it's lovely because the things that the traits they have, I'm going to fight for my country. This is my country. I'll do whatever it takes. You can see the strength and determination, which I saw only in movies.
Yeah.
Already in the books.
Yeah.
And now you can see it in real life.
Yeah.
It really touches my heart, especially when they are our neighbors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
culturally quite similar.
We are all similar, I think there is a lot of, just traits, very similar traits. But did you know what the Ukraine flag colors represent?
No, but they are very colorful and I like they're nice colors.
And this is just how ignorant I was. It was not like on purpose, but I've learned that yellow stands for sunflowers and rapeseed flowers, and blue is the sky. So Ukraine is a country in Europe that is the biggest provider of sunflower seed and oil, rapeseed oil. And when in summertime, before harvest, the fields are yellow. Everything is yellow. And for that reason, this part of flag is yellow and the blue is the sky.
Do you know what? I seen a story on TikTok where a Ukrainian woman went up to one of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
With the
seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I can connect the dots. You understand why. Yeah. So I was trying to find out, well, this is how bad it can be.
Yeah.
What Polish flag stands for.
Yeah.
Okay, so the red part is obviously the years of oppression and fighting for independence, and white is a hope. Well, now I do know that. So I've learned something positive, in all of this situation. But like I'm saying is why I promote always focusing on positives, on all of the good stuff that you see. There is not only this woo crap that people can, just accuse me for. There is also scientific proof to the positive power of it, and how it impacts our brain and ability to making decisions and thinking clearly. When we are focusing on negative stuff, we are in fight and flight response all the time, right? Our thinking ability is reduced literally to minimum. When you're under the stress and there's a high amount of cortisol flowing in your system, we're talking science now, guys. The blood is flowing away from your frontal cortex, which is your thinking part, right? And you are becoming loopy. Stress makes you feel loopy. Ability to make sensible, good decisions is being limited. So by choosing to think, thoughts that are keeping you sane and happy, also guarantees that you're gonna be able to think clearer when you have to make, good decisions. All right. So this woo-woo crap you might be thinking is just not working, right? And it's just only for woo-woo people. It's actually confirmed and backed up by science that it can really help you to not only feel better in the adversity, in stressful situations, but it also helps you to stay healthier, because stress is the biggest killer, is the root of all evil, right? And it also will help you, will allow you to make better, clear decisions that will help you to move forward much faster, okay? So woo all the way, right? Look at the positive sides. You really look at positive sides.
No worries, Sherry. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, that's great advice. That was great tips, definitely. And I think I remember years ago going on some of it. I might have said this before, and we're only 3 seconds from absolute despair. Like a phone call could be, our world gets a bit tipped upside down for whatever reason. So I was interviewing a guy yesterday actually, and he dropped in a good tip, and it was control control what you can control, basically. Keep control of what you can control. There's you know, we know the environment we can't, like you can actually you made a good point. You can control your environment.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can. Like if I start being toxic towards you now, and you're in this environment, how can you control it? Stepping out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that,
But this is not me controlling the environment. This is me controlling my response.
you know, this is you controlling your environment. So you remove yourself from that environment.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
that's all right.
Okay. Well, today you
And now you
misunderstood
agree.
everything because the blood is flowing away from the frontal cortex and you can't get what you're being told.
So we can
All right.
control our environment by stepping out or removing, you know, the thing that's in there. But I think I think that's quite important when something unexpected happens, because like yeah, we've all been in that situation where you maybe get into an argument, or it's toxic or whatever, and we kind of start battling without realizing we're battling. So when it's I'm talking about all different things here. Step yourself out, take a pause, breathe, allow that to calm down. In most cases, most people, let's say I'm talking about if it's with a person, you can go back then both calmer, and you can talk quite rationally about it, but not when you're still.
We'll have to reduce the
you
level
need
of
to
stress.
a lot,
Yes.
because sometimes, you know what, I used to make this mistake, think, oh, I'm all right now, try and talk about it, but maybe they weren't, but actually I probably wasn't either, because it's like, well, damn it, we're straight back into this again. So it's just breathe, depending on the situation. At other times it's like, I need to go and talk to someone, or I need to hide under my rock. You've got to find your way. You've got to find the way that works best for you, I think, when something unexpected happens. We're talking about, I guess we're talking more from like, how do we deal with the negative unexpected?
Well, I suppose, this is that we have a reason.
Because when it's the positive unexpected, what do? You start dancing around. You're like, yeah, oh my God, I won the lottery. Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm not sorry.
Sherry has said, I used to be a bottler. I taught myself to walk away. Yeah, and I think that's such a great skill, Sherry. I think it's an important one, and it just allows you to calm down. And if you've got someone close you can talk to, that's, I think finding that right person, that, because some people you can talk to and they'll feed you it. They'll feed that whatever's going on, and it'll make it worse. And others you can talk to, and they might sit on the fence a bit and listen. But I think when we've kind of, like the chimp, if you've not read it or listened to it, Chimp Paradox, 100% recommend. You just exercise in that, just shout out, go stand on a hill and because we say things, and our brain starts finding all kinds of reasons for why, almost feeding that negativity part of it. Once you've exhausted that, I agree with this. When I've worked this myself, is right. It might be a few sleepless nights, but then I calm down, and then my brain can start to find, right, okay, well, maybe it's not what I'm thinking, it's that way, or I find a solution or whatever. So you can start to find a way forward or whatever. Or you just decide, actually, okay, this is not good for me, so I need to step away from this now. It'll work it out without the whole point is not staying in a thing.
Hashtag. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think naturally it's nothing wrong with us to react sometimes. It's just first natural, just self-surviving response, right?
Yeah.
It's just within us.
Yeah.
And everybody got that. Some people are better, just working with it, dealing with it. Some people more fiery on inside, and it takes them time, to cool down and then start thinking straight.
Especially for an Aries.
Yes, for Aries, yes.
Fire! Kill everyone!
But the thing is, you see, you are the power to decide how long you want to stay in that kind of, stress.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was listening to Joe Dispenza, he was he was saying that a natural stress response lasts literally up to 45 seconds. right? Or even less than that, I feel like I'm making up now, but it's a very short period of time. And after that, your body naturally goes back to balance, right?
Makes sense, actually.
Right. So this response to the situation is very quick, and there is a reason for it, for you to be able to make a quick change in order to survive, right? And it actually plays out really good, really well in the animal kingdom, because you can see, for example, we've heard this analogy that there is let's say gazelle, on savannah, and a lion chasing her. With her quick response is the only way she can survive, run away and stay alive. But once she's away, right, she runs away, she go to the safe place, she's going back to grazing again, she's relaxed. Humans, on the other hand, are those who have this ability to deal with the stress, so they can respond and they can switch, right? But they don't do that. They practice. I've heard what she said. You're going through the worst case scenarios.
So,
So
yeah,
we're practicing the stress response,
Yeah.
and we are actually on the loop.
I think sometimes, though, that can also depend on the circle of influence that we have around us
Of
that
course.
encourage us to do that, and we get caught. Because I think I may have been, I don't know, but been in that circle before. Where
Well, come
it's
on, we all have.
Yeah, exactly,
Do you
right.
think
And
I
it's
have it?
continuous, but you can condition yourself.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know before, like I said, so before we come here, meet up, work out what we're going to do. I haven't been able to jump scare you for a while.
I know.
But
You know why?
Because
You know why?
Ange's learned that Matt will I'll jump out at me.
Happened only once, right? And it was a good
Anyway,
areas.
no, but the point is this, right? So it makes sense what you said, because like when you do you have that sudden rush, but immediately you're calming down. So that makes sense. It only lasts 45 seconds. And our hearts go in, and then we're working out, and it's actually a relief that we're not going to die.
But
I'm going to burn so badly, and so I'm always.
You're already burning.
I know.
You're already burning.
Always jump scaring people.
Well, already the thing is, this is it. That's just a side note. Now, when I'm coming to meet him, my head is just going around to see from which direction he's coming, just in case he wants to scare me. But this, you see, you scared me once. And I've learned the lesson. So now I'm actually preparing myself.
I wonder if Donna's watching. Donna, one of my staff members. Sorry, Donna.
Sherry says that her daughter is
I got
Aries
Donna
as
good.
well.
Yeah.
Sherry's daughter is Aries as well. Yes, Aries, all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great being Aries. Don't overthink or anything.
It's like turns, like more curved.
What other tips have we got, Ange? We got sidetracked again. But do you know what? We do that pattern interrupts to kind of bring us all over the place.
But I think it's still relating to the subject we are talking about.
Yeah.
Massively.
Well, look, do you know what we did there? We made a bit of a joke. Yeah. So we talked. So I think that's an important thing when the unexpected happen. It's like I do that as a pattern interrupt when we're doing our podcast, if you ever wonder why. Because it changes our brain patterns. If you go and listen to something, it can talk over and over. So sometimes you just need to wake someone up again. Yeah. We're all awake again, I'm sure, if we're watching or listening. So that's another good tip. So if something unexpected does happen, is you can put your own, have a pattern interrupt, basically, go and do something else. Or if it's just general tip, like you're struggling to concentrate, focus, a bit of a life change, right? Stop what you're doing. That can wait. Go and do something else for today. A walk, whatever. Go have a coffee with a mate. Go to the cinema if you can concentrate. Whatever it is, you find your thing. But a pattern interrupts are very, very important because it takes you out of that process. And motion leads to emotion. So if you're having a bit, if something unexpected happens, saying it's not great, our emotions can start to go up and down. So again, to get ourselves out of that, just change it. Sometimes you have got to force it. I remember my mum saying to me, because mum was a secretary. Hi, mum, because I know you're watching and listening. Within mental health, and she said when I was going through my rough times, she would say to me tips that some of the nurses would give. But sometimes you've got to force yourself just to get up and go out and do whatever you're going to do. And that'd be difficult for me at times. But it's like now I can be led in bed and wake up. I woke up, I don't feel great. It might be a while, but right, I gotta get out.
Mm.
Literally, as soon as my feet hit the floor, I trip up and smash my face into the door. No. There you
Sorry,
go.
it did take me a second to get it. What you're saying.
A pattern interrupt, see?
Just to put the
And
picture in my
just
head.
like that, where you were listening,
Yeah.
and maybe relating it to something, you
No,
went straight.
I did see you hitting the.
Yeah, I know, and you went straight into a laugh. So you see the power of that pattern interrupt I
Yeah,
just
they're working.
invoked onto you.
Yeah.
So that's how
Well played.
powerful it can be, right? And it just be that absolute thought process of
Mm.
whatever. And I bet you all were kind of relating to something then as I was saying it, and I changed your frame of mind in a split second with my Jedi mind powers.
Oh, Claire will love that.
Okay, that went weird. On the podcast, I was just floating, by the way, if you're listening. If you're listening, of course you are, because why would I say that? No, we're not listening. We just got it on for random stuff.
You're
Yeah.
goofing.
Humor.
Do you know what many people do?
Andrea, yes.
Many people do, and I find that for those who are, I find this is an amazing skill. If you can deal with stress with humor, you're not only relaxing yourself, but you also relaxing the environment and the people who are in that environment. I find this as an amazing skill. I really, really do. Not that I have it, but I really admire people.
Yeah.
Who can really turn. They can make situation much easier to look at.
No, great.
explains
Yeah,
a lot.
definitely. I'll post that in a minute, Andrew.
Mm.
That's quite important. No, like humor. Oh my gosh, yes. And you know when someone that has wronged you and you get angry about it,
Mhm.
and actually, if you was to perception in most of those cases, you would probably laugh at how pathetic that's their action is, rather than it. Oh, I'm so angry they've done this, and actually, it's like you dickhead.
I'll tell you
What the
something.
hell? Come on. And they would hate, I'm not saying go around laughing behind people's backs, but I can't share something, but it's something that I heard the other day. And I just think, would they, like, if they knew you were laughing at them behind his back because of that actual thing that was suggested, how would they feel? It's like, oh, they would hate it. So don't get angry about it.
Mm.
Just laugh at it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And actually things where I can't, I'm not going to name names, but I just think, what the hell? What are you doing? But at the time, oh God, what an idiot. It's like, that's made me angry. It's like now I just think, oh my God, you need to sort yourself out. But off you go because it's
because then you are actually, this is active sign of you letting it go,
Yeah,
you're making
definitely.
peace with, okay, just it's been done, whatever is done is done. Okay, that was stupid, I've reacted. You reacted, not responded, right?
Yeah.
But then you're finding humor in the whole situation, and that actually brings you ease and relief.
Yeah.
And then you actually move forward without it as your baggage. And I find personally that just like you, I can react, okay, and I can be right, and I can find whatever you said, I can magnify it, and I'm gonna make it really pretty. This head is a very creative head. I can create a story, but then
I love it when people create stories.
But listen, I'm creating story to myself, not that I'm telling that.
I know.
People, but I can actually wind myself up even more.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know. I am. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I think everyone.
I'm good.
I think everyone does that though. To a degree, yeah.
But listen to this, right? I go through this process, and then I'm taking a step back. When my stress level goes down, I actually start seeing clearer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what the hell, right? I'm laughing at myself.
Yeah.
For my responses, for my creativity, and I'm thinking, okay, this is very creative. This can be used good and bad way. Okay, let's be honest. And then I'm actually starting to laugh at the situation that is coming from, not from me, but from the other side. And then after all, I can find the humor in it. Sometimes it's hard. You just can't find it. I can find it afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. And that definitely helps.
So this is kind of like that chimp paradox thing that I was talking about. You're thinking over whatever, and that's and coming out with all different scenarios. I do that. I'm terrible for it. I think most people do that, for whatever reason. It's they're doing this because of this, and it's this, and it's this, and then this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. I think sometimes like we exhaust our chimp though in the wrong manner, maybe, and then and then that's when there can be conflict, and it's like, what the hell? Where's this? I've had that from the other side. It's like, what the heck? Where's this coming from? then you well, no, that's not the case. Or blah, 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 it's escalating this big ball in there. So I think obviously from what you're saying there is that yes, you're thinking all these things and you're exhausting it to the point then, right now I'm exhausted from it. Now I can actually see reason, and then you're laughing at it. So it's actually, I think it's quite healthy.
It is
I used to
healthy.
think it wasn't, but I think it is quite
I'll
healthy.
tell you
yeah.
something, let's not pretend that we are different than we are. Some people are better with dealing with stress, with the conflict. Some people are worse with that. Pretending that you are someone who you're not, you're lying to yourself, So
I mean, I'm not a
everybody,
unicorn.
you can do whatever you want, I'm a fairy, I already told you. But what I'm saying is like we have different levels of, and different skills, abilities to deal with those things. But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't really matter how you deal with it. What does matter is if you're aware of it, how you deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's really important.
And your awareness will bring the solution, because then you actually, only then, when you are becoming aware of what is going on and your responses and your behaviors, remember, your response and your behavior is not you. Okay, this is your response and your behavior. Okay, only then you can actually analyze it from a distance and decide whether you want to change it or not. But you're not identifying yourself with this response. Okay, when it becomes less personal, so to speak, it's much easier to deal with it, to dim it, right, and to change it.
Yeah.
Okay, am I talking around in the circles, or does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So for me, awareness is the number one thing, because this is where change happens. This is where actually magic happens. Ability of dealing with the stress, responding to stress, and moving forward instead of being stuck in our mind.
Andrea, I don't mind sharing this, so just going to pop this up. So Andrea works with emotional support for kids. So she said in a previous comment that humor helps her staff. So when she trains staff for difficult situations, our students bringing humor into situation disarms their defenses, allows for self-examination. And I'm just going to put the next one up, read it out. My job is bringing that to my staff's attention, how their behavior could trigger that reaction. She's corrected that. It says staff, but you mean students, right? So is that kind of what you're getting at? But I think it's kind of going back to that pattern interrupt, that it's understanding, us being self-aware. Basically.
Also, teaching them to deal with it, with a different way.
Yeah.
So, we have, this is so normal for us to practice. That's the common way of dealing with stress, right? Reaction. This specific reaction of
whatever happens, you're going to react.
Physical response, right? And there are many different ways of dealing with stress. And what you're teaching, just like a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Which is actually creating distance. That creates a space for you to start thinking clearly.
Yeah, definitely.
And being easy about it. So you're becoming less serious. I think this is amazing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? This is just. Can you imagine Putin smiling?
We talked about this earlier, right?
Can you imagine him smiling? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we talked about this
earlier.
I've
never seen him smiling. Did you?
It's funny. We both thought the same. Well, you think he's definitely ill. I thought he was ill with all this going on. We come back to this again, but that's okay. We're happy to talk about it and share your thoughts on it. Why not? I think he's got some terminal illness. Wouldn't surprise me. I don't know why I think that. I just do. I don't know, that sounds very nice. Wouldn't wish that upon. Well, actually,
I think it's actually a fact.
Yeah, it was just funny that you thought the same. There we go.
Is
Putin ill? Yeah, is Putin ill? What do you reckon? Is he dying at the moment? Why is he? I don't know.
Last chance for legacy.
He didn't look well in the face. Not I'm worried about him, but just hurry up, please, because we all want peace, basically.
We want peace.
We want peace. Yeah.
Peace in the mind. But you know what? Sometimes you have to stir in the pot.
Like I said, if he was picture smiling, it's probably wind. Yeah, well, probably, yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he wants to leave a legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we
yeah. I
agreed.
think everyone thinks
yeah,
that, though. Yeah.
But then again, what sort of legacy is that?
Well, in his head, see, what was it? I was away at the weekend on a course, and perception is reality. Well, in that person's head.
Yeah, perception. Yes.
So his perception of what.
Yeah, I forgot for a
I don't
second
know,
about the power of
Does
perception.
he want to go back to how it was, the Soviet Union and
Well, that's
whatever?
not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know it's not going to
darling,
happen,
right?
but if that's his perception of his legacy, and again, like bring it back to people that have been in and out of life, whatever, their perception was their reality. It's flipping scary
Mm.
because it had this, not the same effect, but it had a freaking big effect on a lot of people. But their perception is still no.
Mm.
So yeah, bye.
As they say,
Deal with the
history,
unexpected.
just love repeats itself. So I think this is just an active form of reminder.
Yeah, I
of
think
what
there'd be
is
some.
really important.
Yeah, damn it.
Sorry, Italy was calling.
Yeah. You just get random calls from different countries.
Yeah, I do.
And I think someone generally means someone spoofed your phone.
No, I think they are just looking for some,
Someone to talk to.
naive person to pay, because international calls, they're not gonna be, free.
Could have practiced my Italian. I might still remember bits.
Yeah.
Buongiorno.
Pizza.
No, buongiorno.
Pizza.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
So, how do you guys deal with when something unexpected happens? It maybe knocks you off. It's a curveball. Maybe life has thrown it. Whatever. How have you? What positive things can you add to the conversation on how you've dealt with it? We've had humor. I think that was a really good one.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah. Taking a bit of a pause, and I think reach out. And yeah, just do something different. And if it's something that's quite drastic, then yeah, you're going to go through the old up and down. It's normal. You could just allow it to happen, accept it, have a good cry. Then you'll be right in a bit. Go and do something else. And mantras.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
Look how I love when people are actually sharing with us different ideas, different methods, different ways, because obviously different things work for different people. But mantras, have I ever tried mantras? Don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him.
Drop that at 11:55, just saying it for the numerologists out there. Thanks, Andrea.
This is like, be good, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind.
I think what if it's if it's again, if it's something drastic, just got to take a look around. Things we're grateful.
Change it.
Definitely
change a point of focus.
Yeah, look at what we're grateful for, and again, going back to like I said, people come out of the woodwork, going to be there to support you. When we come out of lockdown, so we not long open up. The roof leaked here, and it went I came in one Sunday. I've just come in up. And I thought, oh my god, the mats downstairs. With we've got the punch bags absolutely drenched. So the water leaks that just come down because we're on the top floor. It's gone right down the side of the building, down into. Oh my god! Sent a message to Michelle. Said, "Oh Michelle, I'm getting early tomorrow. We're gonna have to sort this out." I wasn't expecting anyone to go there on Sunday evening, right? I come back, so I thought I'm going to have to lift the mats up. And all the staff are there.
Wow.
Doing what we had to do. Got them up. Look, because remember as the 2020, which feels like last year, but it wasn't. It was so hot. So we lifted all these mats up here, put them on the roof to dry out. And then about a month or so later, a water pipe freaking burst. I've never seen anything like it. It was literally raining from the ceiling. We couldn't find where to turn the water off, whatever. And I remember coming in. Michelle said, "Oh, you're right," because it upset me. but I just got on with it. Really. I said I just didn't say a lot. Just picked up the mat straight upstairs, and that's what I did. So for me to deal with it, it was a blow, and I just thought, I can't believe this is happening. But we're already struggling after the whole lockdown pandemic. Everyone's feeling whatever and
exhausted.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't even afford to buy new mats. We're gonna have to sort these out. Carried it upstairs, watching it raining. And so that me was right. I just got to get on with it. Don't think about it. Get these upstairs. Get them out onto the roof. And actually, again, what staff came in. They dropped everything. People that weren't working that day came in. Their partners came in. And I thought, right, that's it. This was, I knew I had a great team here. Yeah. Everyone that's spread it from whatever their role is here. I knew I had great team because of what they were, what we did throughout the pandemic anyway. And I just thought, you know what, this is I'm not discrediting anyone else, but this is the best team that I've had. And it said a lot how important and everything else. So that needed to happen to kind of, not for me to have that realization, but it's like,
that's another level of appreciation.
I'm so glad I paid him 100% through the furlough. Paid off for stuff like that. Yeah, and it's so in another way, it's like, right, move, get on with it, use that, because that was negative energy. It's like seeing that happen. It's like, oh, I can't believe this. What's happening here? But so movement, so you burn out the negative energy in a positive way. So for me, it's I could sit there and cry, ain't gonna change anything. Just get on with it. And then find the appreciation in that. And there is always something. Haters gonna hate. But I just, oh my God, the pigeons have gone crazy out there.
Yeah,
I got distracted. See, there's patting. Oh my God. Sorry, we're laughing because there's two big pigeons chasing. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know.
Spring, that's what's going on.
Yeah, spring.
Yeah.
Who said this? So someone said the other day, we're going through like the spring as well. So we're like, at the moment, we may be feeling a bit like this because we're coming out of winter. So our emotions are like, it's like you're just waking up.
Well, it's not like every year you have this kind of situation. Well, but again, you can't predict that, can you?
No. We're well off on stuff then. And anyway, the point was, pattern interrupt. Motion leads to emotion. Put some humor in. And we were laughing by the end of that night, by the way. We were laughing about it. And I just thought, I looked around, we were all sat down, and I just thought, I'm glad this happened. Glad this happened. We had one person upset because we had to cancel the class. They turned up the class. Sorry. You could have told us. Yeah, we didn't know it was going to.
Well, we planned. We definitely planned that.
But remember what I said. Out the road work, the people you least expect will come out, and you'll be, they're just okay. Maybe this isn't a place for you. If you don't like it.
Well, clarity again.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I think we nailed it there. Thank you for listening and watching and sharing, blinking, and imagining unicorns and dancing fairies on ice.
Look at this, like a little wings now.
Anyway, wish me luck. I got the BSL level 1 test tonight. I got to go home and revise. Oh my God. We will see you next week. Have we got a guest next week?
We have.
Are you going to share?
No.
Okay. Tune in next week, next Tuesday.
Tune in to find out.
And I think there may or may not be an episode the following Tuesday, but we'll talk about that later on. Anyway, that doesn't matter for now.
More surprises.
Adios, amigos and señoritas. Bye. Peace, love, always. We are still saying goodbye. We're just going to press end broadcast now. We may just be here, just looking